Hello and welcome to Unabridged, the weekly podcast where teachers take on books. This is Sarah. Join us for bookish episodes and a monthly book club pick.
This is Ashley. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at UnabridgedPod or go to our website, unabridgedpod.com, where the books we read are linked for purchase.
This is Jen. Check out our Teachers Pay Teachers store, our Patreon page, and our newsletter. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts to support us. You want opinions about books? We've got them.
Hey, it's Ashley here solo today, and I am so excited to talk with you all for our Teaching Tidbits episode. I really loved listening to Jen reflect on virtual teaching. She did that in September, so listen back if you haven't heard that one yet. I thought she had some great, thoughtful tips about things that she's experiencing in the classroom right now, and I thought I'd continue with that and share from the technology side. I have been assisting a lot of teachers with a lot of tech problems as they're trying to navigate. So I really just wanted to share a few insights as I've experienced things with teachers. The first thing I want to say is when something is going wrong, ask for help. So many teachers I have worked with have struggled through the problem for quite a bit of time before reaching out for help. And while I appreciate people doing that, a lot of times they were doing the right thing. There have been several circumstances where they were doing the right thing and there was a technical issue that needed to be addressed. We had something with a Chrome browser, we had something with a program that we used, and it wasn't until several people were reported what was going on that we realized that the problem was there. So one thing I want to say is it is great to take time to ask for help. I worked with a master teacher who I think the world of, and I could tell that she just really was embarrassed to reach out for help. And that was really humbling for me because I ask for help almost every day these days. We have a program we use for our team. We use Slack. And on that program, I'm constantly asking people for help multiple times a day because we're just navigating so many things we've never had to navigate before. And so I just wanted to encourage people to reach out, ask for help. A lot of times you are, by doing that, precipitating getting information out to a lot of people who might need it and also addressing problems that might be outside of something that you're doing. The second thing I wanted to recommend is taking breaks. I know that I have been hunched over my laptop screen way more time than I am accustomed to, and I've been on video calls way more than I'm accustomed to. And so I have found that it is vital that I take some breaks, that I stand up. I've been trying to find places to position my computer when I can so that I can be standing instead of seated the whole time, so that I am helping my back, I'm helping my neck, I'm breathing better, and I am therefore happier. So that's tip 2. Tip number 3, I want to recommend. This one is hard to do if you're really trying to solve a problem, but sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. And I say that not just because I think that that really helps get a fresh perspective, it helps with frustration levels, it helps in that from that end, but from the tech side, it actually helps because sometimes 10 minutes later or an hour later, the thing is working. And so sometimes if you can just let go, and I know, of course, that there are situations where that's not possible, where it's in the moment with students and it's not possible to walk away, but if it's lesson prep, if it's things that you want to share in an asynchronous way, that's a great time to walk away and try again later, because so many of the platforms right now are stretched beyond their capacity, and because of that, there are problems that you wouldn't normally encounter. So I just wanted to recommend walking away as a great plan. Tip number 4, this one is something that maybe you hear people say all the time, but it is amazing to me the number of times this actually works in real life. So the first, I wanted to say for tip 4 that if you haven't tried this yet, always turn it all the way off and back on again. So actually go through the process, log out, shut everything down, and restart. And it's funny, I watch a show on Netflix called The IT Crowd. I love that show. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. It's a British show, and it's 3 people who work in an IT department at a business, and they always answer the phone by saying, IT department, have you tried turning it off and back on again? And I think that before I was on the tech side of things, I had heard people say that, but I had no idea the percentage of times that it does actually solve an issue. So again, that's something good to remember when you're in the midst of frustration. Sometimes it is hard to remember. I have had that happen where I've had an issue with a program and have forgotten to go through that process, and sometimes that's all it needed. And finally, the last thing I wanted to say is, for number 5, is this one I'm really working on for myself, is just to carry on and to get a fresh start whenever you can. And remember, I feel like, I know for my family, we are trying to appreciate the good things about this time, but we also are celebrating the passage of time. And I never want to wish away time with my kids. I never want to wish away time in my life, but it is helpful when things are really hard to celebrate that, the seasons are changing, the leaves are changing, fall is here, and that means that we are that much closer to getting back to a more normal scenario and where we can all be together again. And I think that it helps me to stay grounded and to think about those things, because when I've been hunched over my laptop all day and all I've done is work through tech problem after tech problem after tech problem, many of which I actually can't solve, I have to keep that perspective, and doing that is really important and helps me get through what can be some hard days. And I know that I have worked with a lot of teachers who are doing such a phenomenal job, and I know that they're having some really hard days also. And finally, I just want to say to all the teachers out there who are doing that hard work that I'm seeing firsthand from my own child how appreciative she is of the work that her teachers are doing. So she's very young and certainly is learning a lot about how computers work and how video calls work, and yet she is so grateful. They have funny Fridays, and she always prepares her jokes to share with her classmates on her synchronous time. They had a Maker's Monday, and she shared the art that she'd been doing and talked about some tamales that we had made over the weekend as a family, and so shared that cooking experience with her classmates. So I just want to say that I am seeing the joy that she's getting out of it, even in a situation that it's hard for many of us to find the joy in. And so I appreciate the work that you all are doing as a parent, and I know from the tech support side how unbelievably challenging some of these obstacles are, but I feel so comforted by the support that I have felt from the people who I've been able to work with, and hope that you can feel some support in just knowing that we're all going through these things, and that no matter what our role is in this and in helping, whether it's our own kids or helping our students or helping each other, our colleagues, that it is a journey for sure, and one that we have got to rely on each other to have some support. So I hope that those quick tips are helpful for you. Those are the things that have really come to the surface for me as I've thought about what's important when we're dealing with the technology side of this situation of virtual teaching. So again, I'm Ashley. Thanks for joining us for Teaching Tidbits. We'll have another Teaching Tidbit for you in a couple of weeks. We always release them on Fridays. Thanks for listening.
Do you have comments or opinions about what you heard today? We'd love to hear them.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Unabridged Pod, or on the web at unabridgedpod.com for a list of ways to support us.
We'd like to thank Jared Featherstone, who composed our theme music, Strings of Light, and Katie Amy of Amy Photography, our podcast photographer. Thanks for listening to Unabridged.